Many people did not know that about reproductive systems when the parties to this case started having babies.
You became pregnant with your first child at 14 years old. Mr. Harris, you first became a father at the age of 12, going on 13. You're certain that Ms. Galloway's twins are not way too young.
What better place to meet your potential baby mama?
In a relationship, Your Honor, it was just one night stands. It was in church, like usual, like the rest of her baby daddies. I mean, I'm keep it real.
Judge Lake would rather not hear about intercourse in her court, especially adolescent relations.
Okay,
That's not the truth.
go past that part.
Okay, so,
It looks like Mr. Harris did not need to go to Bible study to get down with Miss Galloway. All he needed was a free van.
we did get involved in that van the next morning.
You met him in church. You having sex with him in an abandoned van?
We did not use protection.
In Judge Lake's court, the time spent in intercourse is irrelevant, but we are sure some people are curious.
Like, okay, I
Well,
have
no,
to use
3
the
minutes,
restroom.
45 minutes.
It was
30.
not no 45
okay.
minutes.
To potentially produce.
Lack of communication in a relationship will lead to a child if this case is anything to go by.
Sleep with more than one man?
I was only talking to him.
No, that's what y'all should have been doing, was just talking.
Both parties fling allegations back and forth. We don't know who is right and who is wrong, but be assured Judge Lake will do her research.
You have no doubt.
No doubt, not at all.
Did you sleep with Mr. Samuels too?
No, that is not a lie.
You told me out your own mouth.
You are trying to throw up everything that you can.
It ain't no case.
I don't think Mr. Samuel knows the meaning of respect, or he just has no respect for Mr. Harris.
Mr. Harris contends that you are, in fact, the father.
Look at him, y'all know. Ray is known as being a hoe.
Okay, let's speak respectfully.
He's known for being a dog.
Mr. Harris won't stand for any hypocrisy. He calls out Mr. Samuel, whose track record is just as bad as Mr. Harris's.
Oh, you here right now?
Okay.
Your wife even know you down here right now.
Y'all chased it. Y'all chased it.
Oh, your wife got divorced because you slept with the woman I was with. Come
Okay,
on, let's be
listen.
real.
Some might think that Mr. Samuel's fatherly acts implicate him, but we'll find out soon enough.
So when she had the twins, the thing about when I picked them up, I knew who the father is. These twins, they basically they look just like him. She tell me, I be like, well, where's Mr. Harris?
Come on, let's be real.
All right, let's talk one at a time. I want to understand this.
She said, he's not doing enough for the kids. I love kids. I got kids myself. I got 3. They're sick. I'm saying, can you help me out?
So you pretty much stepped up for these twins.
After some thorough research, the father is declared. It's little surprise that it is Mr. Harris.
Galloway versus Harris. Mr. Samuel, you are not the father. Mr. Harris, you are the twins' father. You're, in fact, the biological father.
It's not often you see a man about to pay child support for almost a dozen kids smile as Mr. Harris does.
9 children.
Judge Lake is outright disgusted. She gives the young couple solid advice that the court agrees with.
You're right.
Your destiny and your purpose is not to be baby-making factories. You all better stop having babies.
Is Aiden a baby daddy to young Miss Shan's son, or will she need to file another paternity suit?
You are devastated that your first love is now denying your 15-month-old son, Aiden. You hope you two can finally be a family. You are here with your mother, and you both don't believe you fathered her son.
In biology class, we were told that only adults could have babies. They were probably wrong.
It's a classic case of babies having babies.
After giving birth to and taking care of a child, you can't blame Miss Shan's for forgetting she is a young girl.
I got into that one argument. We broke up, and she started messing with multiple people. But they
used to come back and tell me that he was messing with one of my friends. We both were young, so...
Both y'all young now?
Yeah, we still are young. I thought it was cool.
No one gave Mr. Amir's mom the Gen Z best friend memo.
We both had made a mistake.
No, this is really what went on. All of them would be at my house every weekend, and I was there one weekend, I was off. Come on, best friend, let's go to the store. I said, I told him, where they do that at?
Like, I knew about the whole best friend thing, but, like, they probably were doing it then.
They was.
Like, back when they were best friends.
I believe they
No.
was.
Mr. Amir prepared his best friend in kind, and he has no shame about it. To him, it was only fair.
Going out.
So the friend you cheated on him...
Yes, we ended up going
what she
out.
saying don't matter.
Okay, yeah, that did happen as well.
You find out you're pregnant. What was his response?
He was happy.
It must be hard finding out you might be a potential father from the streets.
And so you also tell Mr. Hollis?
I told him, like, I end up telling him. And I was telling them that it's a possibility that it can be him or the friend.
I think Mr. Amir's mum may have the correct opinion on the birth certificate signing.
If the other guy was at the birth, why are you now saying Mr. Hollis is father?
My baby have more futures than him than the other guy.
I FaceTimed her and told her. I said, Aiden looks like Amir.
So you admitted that it was a possibility. Does the other guy sign the birth certificate?
He didn't have his ID at the time.
The streets seem good at informing people of their relationship status.
You know what? I don't think you're the father. I think Mr. Hollis is my child's father. Yes.
No, I never even talked. He hears it off the streets because everybody on the streets tell him.
But in his mind, he's running around.
They're beefing over it.
Beefing over it?
Yeah, they got into it.
Mr. Amir looks like he's about to enter the studio and make more of those songs.
He made a song, Your Honor. It's about a year ago, I fell in love with a thought. That's what it said.
Mr. Amir is not the father, and this breaks Miss Shan's heart.
When it comes to Aiden, Shan, Mr. Hollis, you are not the father.
Miss Shan's is given advice that Judge Lauren always has for teen parents. Mr. Amir does not escape some of the scoldings.
Fortunately now, we know the truth, the way you've been operating. Or you, Mr. Hollis. Sometimes you don't have that person to just sit you down and say no. And they will you straight to mediocrity. Try to legitimize this nonsense. I want you to desire better for yourself.
Mr. Smith is armed with an alibi and knowledge of whom he thinks bears paternity.
Mr. Smith started denying your baby, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Smith, you say you were not in town during the window of conception.
It looks like Mr. Smith forgot why he wanted a baby, or maybe he did not have one.
I had left Job Corps, have sex, and that's whenever my daughter was conceived.
You say he begged you to have the baby.
Yes, he wanted to leave a piece of himself.
What was happening in your mind?
I wasn't really thinking.
I was only 19 years old.
She got baby fever.
That was actually...
Like we could, start trying to have one. Just the thought of it, I guess.
Mr. Smith has displayed indifference towards someone who loved him. Judge Lake lets Miss Richardson know she can do better.
How long were you all together at this point?
8 months when he first started, but I've known him for a good bit of years.
You cannot have babies by everybody you feel like you fall in love with. Everything you saw was through the lens of love. If we wanted to have a baby and she wanted to do it, okay.
Judge Lake lets all the parties know they are in this situation because they lack emotional intelligence and maturity.
Thank you for joining us today.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I would die for Brianna. It's just because I've built that relationship with him that quick. So
you all are all just kids. Everything you all feel is so intense. What I see is a pattern with each of you. You don't have the maturity. And the last I heard, the parents choose the godparents. You're not ready for it emotionally. You're not ready for it at all. I want to hear from your next witness.
It looks like no one is comfy with the supposed godfather. But that's not the type of paternity in dispute here.
The twins' mother.
They've gotten themselves a situation.
They always did, but I stayed neutral. I'm on my son's side, but this video came out, he was holding the baby and kissing on her. If you're a godfather, why we don't know you?
Time to get a DNA test, but he didn't want to. Then it's, I don't want to spend my shopping money.
You get the DNA test. That's the problem today. Everybody tells all their business.
Judge Lake ensures the teen parents understand the kind of publicity they owe their child.
Richardson versus Smith. It has been determined by this court. The biological father is Mr. Smith. Now we have the result. Where do we go from here, family?
Mom believes their daughter's child isn't her boyfriend's. Mrs. Cole believes her daughter needs to be stopped, and Judge Lake is the best judge to do that.
Mother versus daughter. Your daughter is an out-of-control teenager and she needs help. Your daughter has numerous sexual partners. He needs to know the truth. Now, Ms. Cole, you say you are positive that Mr. Boyce is your baby's father. You have asked the court to order your mother to stop meddling in your life. Please tell the court why you're here today.
Because my daughter is out of control.
Mrs. Cole backs up her claim with a real-life event that shocks the court.
She has an issue with authority, from fights at school, hitting a police officer, not once, but twice. She says, I could take her to jail right now. She could have a felony.
Ms. Zare organized vandalism and assault. To say she is out of control might be an understatement.
You stated something about damage to your home.
Because she still did not want to follow house rules. Don't bring the drama to the house. My mother and her girlfriend just jumped on me. They came to my house, they busted out my car. That's me standing on the porch trying to take a picture because now I'm upset. They hit me with a brick. I got hit in the back of the head.
What? This is excessive and dangerous.
Miss Zare is not just a teen mom. She might also be a gang member or the leader.
You're saying that Ms. Co-daughter moved a gang into your home?
Yeah.
How many people were there living down there? 7 people.
Mrs. Cole can't put a number on her daughter's promiscuity, so she gives Larry some good advice.
There was somebody else in the picture. I know that there was someone else. I do know that there was someone else. I say to Larry, I say you need to get a DNA test.
Both parties get emotional quite fast. Despite this lawsuit, there's still a bond between the two, especially concerning her son.
I just want him to have both of his parents.
And I know you may feel like she doesn't love you, but crying your same tears. She loves you.
It's beautiful when a man steps up for a child despite the possibility of heartbreaking news.
Jerome, could you please escort Mr. Boyce into the courtroom for us? I want to hear from him. Mr. Boyce, please come and step to the podium. This child is very important to you.
Yeah, he really is. He made me grow more, you know what I'm saying, since he's been around. I'm hoping that he's mine.
That's wonderful.
Judge Lake tells him that despite the results, he is a stand-up man, which you don't see every day.
This court has seen, you can tell they're wishing. They aren't the child's father. The fact that you can give love to a child, I want to commend you for that. Yeah. And he's making you a better man.
That is behavior any mother would be proud of from their son.
I'm really, really proud of you. And you know who else is? Your mom.
Well, he might have needed to use the protection he wisely carries around. Only the results can tell the facts.
I have doubts. We wasn't together. She was in a relationship with another guy. A condom. I keep that.
Even today.
Yeah, I can't really say if I used it or not.
I know it wasn't. Because the first time, even when you wasn't under the influence, you didn't use it. He didn't use it.
I used condoms.
He didn't use it.
Miss Cole.
Right.
Mr. Boyce gets the news that some other men on the show would have been happy to get, but he is devastated by the news.
But you have told it could possibly be Mr. Boyce or maybe someone else. Jerome, do you have the results?
Here you go, Your Honor.
No.
I'm ready.
When it comes to baby Christian, Mr. Boyce, you are not the father.
Yes, you are.
Regardless of the result, everyone knows the child's real dad.
You're his father.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, you are.
I'm still his father.
I know this was not the way.
Mrs. Cole has to step in for the teen and lets him know that nothing will change his position in her grandchild's life.
Jerome, can you give him a tissue?
Can I just? It's
Absolutely.
okay. We lost everybody, but you're all alone.
Mr. Boyce.
Okay.
Judge Lake drops the subtle difference between a father and a daddy. Mr. Boyce is undoubtedly the latter.
Potentially just think about this, that families are more than just connections. They are love connections. Love determines who the daddy is.
Judge Lake's court is always open to helping couples, especially teen parents.
I want you guys to learn about how to be great parents. I wish you all the best of luck. Good day.
The way Christian feels safe with Mr. Boyce almost makes Miss Zare's mistake irrelevant.
Shall we bring in Christian? You guys want to see him? Here we go.